Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Hello, good evening, good morning, good night, and gotterdammerung, my dear friends. It is here with the Creaks. As always, I am Gruffy, your host and part-time friend. And only part-time. Maybe more. Give me money. Give me money. Oh no! Oh, me children are starving in the street. They're not even mine. I stole them. There's just a kidnapping going on. An orphanage factory.
Can I rent your tortoise?
No, you sick bastard. What do you think he is? Some kind of wrench shell?
Rent shell? Rent a shell?
What you gonna do? Carve out the back end to get your little teeny winny in it? Oh, you're sicking me, you bastard. Oh, I don't even know what this accent's turned into now. Oh shit, Jeff! You've been possessed by the ghost of Hitler! Oh no! Shit, no wonder I got shot in the eyes with a paintball gun! As for me, I'm a fucking supernatural duck! This is the best episode of Biker Grove ever.
Biker Grove? So what you've done is you've fed the series Bible to Biker Grove into a malfunctioning AI and asked it to produce a script.
Pretty much.
Oh shit, and then PJ roughly entered Duncan while hammering a turtle into his hand.
Well, as PJ and Duncan are the same person.
Is that a what if episode?
Yeah.
What if we were the same person?
PJ.
Oh, I was only blind in one eye.
Oh no, man. Have you ever noticed that Alfie Bow looks like the bastard offspring of PJ and Duncan?
Where PJ and Duncan go to the Skinwalker Ranch and beat themselves.
Oh no, look! Duncan's just started hammering nails into his dick.
Oh no, the grove's on fire! He's finally done it! He's finally done it! Duncan, why did you do it? He mocked me.
Oh, did you see that? Spooky just opened her jaws like a snake and swallowed an entire goat. It's just got a bit fucking weird.
What even is Biker Grove? What even was that show?
It was a day centre for kids.
I can remember vividly getting home and Biker Grove being on and thinking, like, I've just done this for 5 hours. I don't want to do this at home. It's like, now I can't watch Mad Men, excellent as it is, because I work in an office now and I'm fucking done this.
It's always like Grange Hill. So you finish your day at school, go home, and then watch your fucking school.
Yeah.
But it's alright, because they don't do drugs on Grange Hill.
I was going to say, isn't Biker Grove just like edgy Grange Hill?
Edgy Grange?
Biker Grove got edgy. There was a gang warfare at one point.
Wasn't a gang war, was there?
Yeah, there was.
Was it?
I only ever caught glimpses.
Bike chain gang or something.
I never caught glimpses of Children's Hospital.
Because
every time there was
oh my god,
one that you genuinely think past, you're like, oh,
was that the one with Rolf Harris?
fucking Blue Peter.
No, Jimmy Savile.
It's Animal Hospital. I know Children and Animals.
I wouldn't
only
trust him
separated by a sentence.
Separated by one word.
One magic spell.
So, as always, I am Gruffy, your host, and with me today is the man who wishes to be gang-stalked by Scientologists.
James, I do not wish to be gang-stalked by Scientologists. I fear it as a possibility.
It's actually on your Christmas list.
To be gang-stalked by...
New socks, latest Xbox, gang-stalked by Scientologists.
It's not true. You know my wish is to be sued for libel by Eamon Holmes.
Well, that's true.
Do you guys know, like, about the Trey Parker and Matt Stone after the Scientology episode that Scientologists were, like, rifling through their bins and stuff to try and find personal information, and they found nothing?
They also, as a second part of that, they tried to get people on the writing team.
Did they?
They tried to buy off people on
really?
the writing team, yeah. But
Isaac Hayes' daughter said
people who work for Trey Stone and Matt Parker, very loyal. Very loyal.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been given a job with what's now the most successful animated series of all time.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Is there a weird...
Well, second, isn't it? I suppose Simpsons is always there.
It's a weird digression, right? But this is one of the things this is why they can say anything they want and I'll always think they're amazing. Do you know how they write? No, they do a writer's room. They kind of talk roughly about an episode.
Yeah.
People shout ideas out. They go, great. They take those away. Mm-hmm. They come back the next day with the script and most of it made and go, so what else should we do? Like in a fucking day.
Yeah.
Monstrous man.
Sounds like
I love the turnaround on South Park.
No.
Something can happen on Monday and it'll get aired on Friday. It's insane. But anyhow, also with us today is the miner of information that we have for today's topic.
Hello, it's Chris.
And we've got some good stuff, Chris.
Well, we'll see.
Let's just say it's going to make my Geordie accent from earlier in the episode seem legit.
Well,
So, as I understand this was going to be about TV show Most Haunted, but in your research,
yeah.
you went down a dark path.
Well, right. Okay. So essentially, yeah, it was originally going to be about Most Haunted, but as I started digging into it and sort of researching it a bit, I mean, I'm a fan of the show anyway, so I know it all.
Fan.
I would honestly describe myself as a Most Haunted fan. I genuinely am. I mean, and I say that unashamedly.
That sentence has permutations we need to attach.
What?
Do you mean a fan of Most Haunted?
Yeah.
Or a fan who is haunted irregularly and without any mercy? I am a Most Haunted fan. My day is spent ducking things that poltergeists throw in my head.
I try regularly to sit down and watch Batman films and Spider-Man films, but that boy I murdered ghosts.
Oh, you know that bit in Ghostbusters where Dan Aykroyd's zip is undone? It doesn't work like that. It's just a full fist right in there.
Keep trying to watch Batman, but my dead uncle won't leave me alone.
Not creepy Uncle Joe.
Creepy Uncle Joe. Oh, but it was.
He taught me how to Greco-Roman wrestle in Big O on a twister mat.
Smeared in grease.
What you want to do, Chris, is you want to get on the back of the man and you want to force him down. Like, there's nothing sexual in it. Just two men Greco-Roman wrestling in some mud. There's nothing wrong.
And of course, if you won, you got rid of the sausage flavoured ice lollies.
Oh, Jesus.
You just keep
you got to exclusively eat while blindfolded.
Ice lolly.
Here's a little ice lolly for you. It looks like a sausage, I know, but you just lick on that boy.
It'll melt quickly.
I like a bit of chorizo.
Not
when it's been in the freezer for 7 days.
Oh, did your ice lolly make your face all sticky?
If any vile nonce did try that with you, like, oh, do you want a sausage flavoured ice lolly? I would say, analyse that sentence.
Yeah.
Do I want a sausage flavoured ice lolly? No, I do not. You could tell me do I want a dick flavoured ice lolly? I might be more on board.
What, John?
Well, now that you mention it.
John Wayne Gacy style.
Hey,
Hey, Joe, do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? It's full of dicks.
Do you want to see a rope trick? He just ties you up.
Why do I feel that you can actually turn that into a Frozen song?
Do you want to see a rope trick? Do you want to see a
Like a man with his own dick. Yeah.
So you started off with the idea of doing a Most Haunted episode.
I've always, at any opportunity, I will talk people to death about Most Haunted. It is brilliant.
So what is Most Haunted?
Okay, so Most Haunted was sort of it was like the first of its kind of these sort of paranormal investigation shows. There's a lot of them now. There's like Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
There's US versions. There's loads of different.
And is Ghost Hunters? Ghost Haunted. We're just gonna haunting the ghosts.
Can you imagine?
Is Ghost Hunters the one where there's just that big Texan guy who shouts at ghosts?
Yeah.
Because I have seen him. He lives in a truck.
Their main
Hasn't showered
shtick,
in a week.
Their only shtick basically is that any phenomena that they catch is just audio recordings of like just completely normal audio.
Yeah.
But then they just like blow it up to 1,000,000 times until it's like really fuzzy and crackly.
Yeah.
And then all you hear is like, and then he's like, "What was that? Shit! It's a submarine.
It's the ghost of a submarine.
It's coming for us."
It's in the bathtub.
But it was like sort of the first of its kind, and it sort of sparked this phenomenon. It's probably way more popular than they could ever have hoped that it become.
Yeah.
So the premise is that this team of paranormal investigators, and I'll use that word very loosely, go to various locations around the UK. Well, it started off just in the UK, and then they go to Europe, and then they've been to the US since and stuff like that. But they spend 24 hours in a location and basically try to uncover paranormal happenings.
Right.
So they spend 24 hours in each episode. There's 218 episodes of it. Now, so that means that we have 218 hours of footage. Okay, and that's just what we've seen. Multiply that by 24.
Yeah.
And plus all the live shows, and we have like over 1,000 hours of footage, and they have found exactly fuck all. Apart from. Right, and to my knowledge, the only time that they have ever actually seen a ghost in the entire show is season 1. Mm-hmm. They go to the Theatre Royal Drury Lane.
Yeah.
They put the camera on the floor.
Yeah.
And this long hallway, And they all walk in front of the camera down the end of this hallway, and they get to like the sort of the doorway, the end of the hallway, and then they all go and they run away. They all like they leg it past the camera, and they were like, "It was a man with chains," and then someone was like, "It was a fat man," and the other one was like, "It was a very gaunt, tall man," and someone's like, "And it was just his legs," and then they start doing the legs and start going, "It was just doing that, it was just doing that," right? But
for those of you at home, there appears to be Morris dancing in the studio.
He's just doing that with his legs. But the guy, in every season, there's a different parapsychologist. The first season is a guy called Jason Carl, who, if you look up subsequently, he's a fucking actor.
Right.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, make of that what you will, maybe he was a parapsychologist and then he became an actor. I can't say.
Maybe he wears two hats.
Maybe he's just a fucking actor. But he's been
Maybe
asked.
he's just a lying sack of shit.
But he was only in one season of it, and we'll show you why later. But he said very definitely in that scene that he saw a ghost. He says that he sees the guy with the chains and that it's all real and legit. But subsequently, years later, there's interviews with him on YouTube where someone says to him, "So, did you ever see a ghost then, Jason?" And he goes, "Contractually, I can't say." Now, if he had, why he just said yes? Oh shit!
Say yes, I saw a ghost. I saw a ghost. Tell your friends, the undead walk among us.
Well, that's another interesting
The
thing.
undead walk among us.
That's
They haunt the shadows. We're not safe. That's not safe. Never sleep.
That's another interesting thing. Is
Turn
there?
the lights off. Take your children. Go live on the moon.
That's what I would do if I genuinely saw a ghost enough to convince me that ghosts exist. I'd never sleep again. I would say the dead haunt every shadow, and they are vengeful. We have pissed the spirits off enough that they are willing to show themselves on camera and haunt us till we rend hair from our heads.
Well, what are you talking about? We know ghosts exist. One of them got Michael Parkinson back in the mid-90s.
Jesus.
No, it wasn't Jesus. Oh, that would be weird.
Still pushing that boulder.
Running up that hill.
Yeah.
So, right, Most Haunted, it started in the late 90s, if memory serves me right.
Yeah, it started in, I think,
It was actually
Was it
attached...
that long ago?
2002.
2002?
Oh, good one.
2002
No,
to
it
10.
kind of got attached to the rise of having more channels. Because I mean, at that point, you'd still pretty much have.
We've got a telephone wanking channel. We've got a channel where you can buy things. We've got a
Ghost
channel,
Babe Station.
Ghost Babe Station.
Look at that floating bra.
We've got a channel where a
Film station.
We've got a channel where the news never stops. Yeah. Now we just need a channel full of ghosts.
Because it started on Living or something.
Started on Living TV, and then it very... I know. It started on Living TV. More like fucking Dead TV. But,
I would watch something called fucking Dead TV.
fucking Dead.
Necrophiliac's choice as a god.
Look at this cadaver.
I like it when they don't move.
Oh, I love when you got to spit into to get wet.
Oh, Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus again.
Honestly though, if you ever wanted to have sex with my dead body, I would be dead. Do it. I don't mind.
Hold you to that.
Well, I hope you'd have to hold him.
If someone offered to pay me now so that they could sleep with my corpse when I died, I'd take that money.
You were telling me that you'd let me saw your leg off the other day for like £1 million.
Well, you
We were talking about the Smiler at Alton Towers.
die.
And he was like, "Oh, for $1 million? Oh, you could just get a rusty saw and do it here."
5 million.
Was it 5? It was 5, was it?
That's a
Yeah,
kind of-
That's the threshold of acceptability, is it?
5 million. You've got 2.5 million once you've bought that robotic leg. So you're alright.
That is true. That is true.
I'd just hop.
Oh, your new life is just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It's a recurring theme of the show that, like I was saying before, when they put the camera on the floor, and you know they see it, but we don't see it.
Yeah.
And this is a recurring theme on the show. There's too many times to count. There's many occasions where, like, in one of them they go to, I think it's Mitchell and Priory, I think it's called, and they get a crucifix and they draw around it with a pencil on a piece of paper, and then they point a camera at it, leave it all night, and when they come back to it, it's like completely moved out of the lines.
Yeah.
So they watch the footage back, and you can see like the piece of paper move a bit, and it does move, but you can't see the edge of the paper. Do you know what I mean?
Poor fucking runner off to the side.
Yeah, well, this is when you realise that it's all shite.
Do it like a ghost. How would a ghost move the tank pipe? I think I would have ghost more like this.
I've honestly seen this footage of people on the internet saying that footage is incredible. That like it's better than that. It kind of the paper kind of bubbles and moves, and I'm like, some fucker is pulling it. Someone is pulling it from off camera.
Is this along the same lines of the Patterson Bigfoot?
Yeah.
It's like, I still can't believe this was made. Excuse me, I made the suit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was me.
Well, you're a shill.
You shut up.
You're a shill.
You stop talking. The government hypnotise your brain. Look at this suit. I made the suit. Actually, I made it originally for a sci-fi series. Yeah, Lost in Space, which is all true.
That suit was made for Lost in Space.
Yeah, that suit was made for Lost in Space. The guy who made it has actually come out numerous times and said, I made it. The Patterson report is fake.
But still people going, what if it isn't?
Yeah. He's telling lies.
He would say that.
Yeah, exactly.
He would say that.
As the creator of the suit.
As the man who made the suit. He would tell everyone it's fake to ruin their fun.
Yeah, god damn it. It's like if one of the guys who were investigating the missing 411 stuff just turned around and went, yeah, it's me, I'm a child killer.
Anyways,
I confess. There's another time as well. They go. I think it's one of the hotels they investigate, and I think it's called the Station Hotel. And there's footage on that episode of over the course of the night they leave a camera pointed at a bedroom.
Yeah.
And the beds like move like very 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 slightly. Oh, it's like a time lapse footage, and they're just wiggling like a little tiny bit until it's like completely splayed over the other side over 4 hours. But if you think about what's really happening there's someone on their back wiggling furniture. And it's like you will stay there for 4 hours until you get the shot,
and you were getting paid minimum wage in 2002, which is £6.50 an hour.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that like
nobody got paid.
Well, when you say that it's all fake and stuff. In 2005, it actually got reported to Ofcom because of the demonic possessions on the show, and people said it was fraud, and Ofcom ruled that it wasn't fraud because it is a entertainment program and it is not a legitimate investigation into the paranormal, and it shouldn't be taken too seriously.
But imagine if we lived in a world where Ofcom disproved the existence of ghosts and demons. Ofcom finds that there is no life after death. That all religions are false.
The other way around. But Ofcom just goes, so, yeah, well, we've got this zombie, and he has a few words to say.
Yeah.
My name is Baron Samaday. I would just like to say your TV license money is going to feeding me my utility hearts. I'd love to see that. And on the phone we have Baron Samaday. Hello.
A year's worth of TV license can buy a lot of chicken hearts.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Midday with Baron Samaday. I want him to be doing like Jeremy. What's his name?
Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah, I want him to be doing Jeremy Kyle.
You keep sleeping with him, and I'm not done. He's going to stop. And samba.
No, cha-cha. Salsa.
No, stop.
You lie detect.
You lie detect.
We don't need to lie detect, we just get the chickens on the floor. Now speak, if the chickens are hot, you are a liar.
Blowing that powder into people.
Yeah.
You will never cheat again.
Your penis fell off.
When you telling me the other day about the story about, I think this is really well known, but there's like a woman who chopped her husband's dick off and fed it to
John
him.
Ray Bobbitt.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like really well known that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he became a
porn star.
A porn star.
With me dick?
Yeah, well, he had it to attach it back on.
Did he?
And
He keeps pulling it off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You're like some pure actress. You're like, oh, Bobby! And then it just rips off.
I love the idea if he's got a theme song, it just goes, detachable penis, detachable penis. Yeah, the first porn film he did was Frankenweenie.
Oh, no, it's got a stitch on it.
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
And it's green.
No, that's
fucking gangrenous.
That's Frankenweenie 6.
No, that's where it went a bit wrong.
Frankenweenie's monster.
They just stitched like a cucumber on for the hell of it.
God. I can't believe that. I think
she chopped it off and threw it out the window.
Oh, God. I would have called that porno zero resistance. Because any resistance and it's fucking pulling.
Oh,
He takes risks that I wouldn't take with a newly attached penis.
I know.
Imagine if he's just making himself happy, he accidentally just throws it into the photography
You
art.
would never have sex if you had a newly attached penis because of the various safes that I would keep around. I'll be with you in a second, love. I'm just going to find the right key and the combination.
What are you doing in the bathroom? Nothing. As you bleed profusely through your fingertips.
Could you get me the glue? Could you get me the modelling glue?
Quickly, pour in cement.
I need to fix my cock.
Fix my cock.
There's some bits in the box. I need a propeller.
Quickly, Charlene, the gorilla glue.
Yeah, we're going to need duct tape.
Okay, I think should we move?
Yes,
should we
sir.
move on?
Anyway, so that's the basis of. Oh, who are the hosts, by the way, of Most Haunted?
Oh, okay. So it's hosted by Yvette Fielding, who I'm speaking like you guys don't know who this is, but like.
Oh yeah, I know you.
Okay, so Yvette Fielding,
I only know her from this though.
she used to be on Blue Peter. She was on Blue Peter
I didn't know
yonks
that.
ago.
No, I didn't. See, I only knew her from Most Haunted.
Oh, she wasn't on Blue Peter when we were watching it.
Oh, right.
But it's fucking ancient, isn't it?
It is
Do you want a Blue Peter badge? No. No, I don't.
We're just going back to
I'm not middle class, thanks very much. I don't need a Blue Peter badge.
man! Jeff's been giving out Blue Peter badges, but they've been cursed by the devil!
It was Connie Hook when we watched it.
Oh,
wasn't
Connie
it?
Hook, yeah.
He was married to Charlie Brooker.
Yeah.
I could have made a mint making like I had one of those badge making machines as a kid. I could have made a mint making like
You couldn't have got you couldn't have got the proper crest emblem. Because presumably those would be round, and they would know the difference. They'd go, look at this Chinese chicanery.
Can I get into the Sea Life Centre for free? No.
It's not a shield. It's circular. So it's hosted by Yvette Fielding. It's produced by her husband Carl Beatty, who owns his own production company, Antics Productions, and then
Antics.
yeah, like as in like running around dossing with faking footage. Fucking antics, like chucking rocks. In fact, is an interesting thing. The cameraman is called Stuart Tavell,
Right.
and he's I think he's Yvette Fielding's. It's either a brother-in-law or a stepbrother or something like that. He's related to her somehow.
Yeah.
And he's the cameraman and the rigger, like literally like the rigger, like he rigs all the fucking paranormal activity. And apparently on the set of the show, they call him Pebbles because he chucks rocks. Oh look, it's Pebbles! Smash!
It goes the bam bam.
And the best part is, one time in a seance, he was, you know when they do the thing with the glass, the upturned glass, and everyone puts the finger on it and it appears to move on its own. And he did that, and on camera, I think it was on a live event, on camera, he picks up the glass and he just chucks it. And then Derek goes, I felt it come from your hand. Looking proper, chucks him under the bus. And then Yvette goes, I thought you threw it as well. And then Stuart goes, I threw that. I threw that. And he commits, and he commits so hard to it that they can't say that it's fake. He just goes, I threw that. And they were like, why? And he went, I don't know. I just felt like doing it. Because you were fucking rigging it, you bastard.
Because, much like everyone else in this show, you're a lying sack of shit.
Fantastic improvisers though, when they realise that was just on camera.
That's what they always do. They always 100% commit to things. In fact, we've got a clip that I'd love to play if we can. It's just an example of. I haven't even talked about Derek ACORAH yet.
We're going to get to him. Don't worry.
But this is directly to do with him. But so in every season they have spiritualist mediums, and at first they had Derek ACORAH, and then as it went on through to series 6, things happened which we will go into great detail about that meant that he wasn't part of the show anymore. And then for season 7, David Wells, another medium, took over from him. But when Derek ACORAH was a medium, he's
more of a large. Let's be fair.
He's an extra large. But he said and did things that pushed the boundary of silliness on the show. That I'll just show you. Right, play the Subterranean clip part 1, please.
Subterranean part 1.
I just feel from what I've just been given a short flash of something. I can't quite believe what Sam has said, that it's going to be opened up down there. Now, I feel if it is opened up from the short flash that I've got, it'll throw everything, religion, what people think is religion, it'll throw spirit links into upside down, because I just can't believe what I've just seen, what I've just been shown. The true inhabitants of the levels down there have not really shown themselves.
What do you mean the true inhabitants?
Now, you're not going to believe this, and it is of no consequence.
You're probably right, but try me.
Down there, whether it's documented or not, there were people. The only way I can put it is, and he gave me the name. He said, oh yes, they dwelt down there, and they hid subterraneans. Crazy?
What? Hang on. No.
There's a lot of information about
No.
Listen.
humans.
Not even that.
Find tunnels of the London Land
Listen to this.
basically, which is banned around the internet on peculiar websites.
It is.
It is.
Certain people that cut themselves off, come up on the levels, and spent the time down here.
No.
Those people took on forms after periods of time of levels from the lowest parts of the world of spirit to a degree.
That's him backpedaling.
Yeah.
To a degree, this happened
Then taking on.
because he realised it's fucking silly, but he had to commit.
Yeah.
He had to fully commit to it.
Like this.
That's incredible.
It's the sort of, I'll see what I can get away with, and then Subterraneans, it's gone, shit.
Now, to an extent,
To an
Sam
extent.
says. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Sam is Derek's spirit guide. He calls him Sam. Incidentally, also the name of the spirit from the 1990 hit blockbuster Ghost. And I'm not saying that Derek ACORAH in any way sat down in 1990 in a cinema, saw Ghost, and went, "I'll just do that." But he fucking did. And also, his real name is where I've got it here, Masumai, and he's a 2,000-year-old Ethiopian man. Derek, in an interview, has said, "I was a boy. I was a little black boy in Ethiopia, and I knew him. And when I pass on to the world of spirit, I shall be his guide in the flesh when he is reborn." And and it goes on like that.
I need to back up a second, because I think we need to decompress what we've done there. Because there's two ways we can take this to be.
Yeah.
Either A, he is saying that much like the plot to the film The Descent, some people went underground, became...
Still talking about subterraneans.
went underground, became slightly cannibalistic monsters.
Yeah.
Or two, lizard people from the centre of the fucking earth.
I'm surprised that you just go like, moment!
You should
It's
play
a moment!
If you can, I'd love you to play part 2. It's kind of short, this one, but this is at the end of the episode. So
Okay. So this is part 2 of the Subterranean Menace.
This is what the parapsychologist thought of it.
As for Derek's story about being in contact and reaching out further in his psychic abilities to the subterraneans that live below London city, I find this incredibly hard to even think about. I'm to be quite honest, not even prepared to contemplate the possibilities of what on earth he's talking about.
So, in other words, Derek, you're talking shit.
And that is why Jason Carl, the parapsychologist, was only the parapsychologist for the first series.
Because he was an actor.
He was an actor, but I think maybe, I mean, we don't know this because there's so much, like, behind the scenes and stuff, but I can imagine them saying to him, like, you're like the skeptic character.
Yeah.
You have to always, like, sort of, you always have to, like, be the reasonable one and bring it back down.
Yeah.
And I think he just did it too well. And I honestly think that when he's like, "Derek, you're talking shit," and they were like, "Well, you're bringing, like, the energy of the show down a bit there, Jason," and he just carried on doing it, and that's probably what happened there.
Either that or his artist's license came up and he couldn't afford to pay for it.
Oh yeah, he's apparently contract bound to say that he can't say whether or not he saw a ghost, despite the fact saying he did.
Or he
on
got
the
conscience
show.
and was like, I'm not gonna
continue the lie.
continue with this.
I have been offered no further work
Yeah.
since my appearance with ghosts.
It's with subterranean ghosts.
So, who is Derek ACORAH then? 'Cause he's the main cut and thrust of this.
Right. Okay. Well, to sort of to put it into perspective, there's 19 series of Most Haunted,
Jesus Christ
and
alive.
I only watch series 1 to 6 because they have Derek ACORAH in them.
Right.
And I think that he is like lightning in a bottle. You will never get it twice. It's just pure pure entertainment. I was watching it, and this is like in the early 2000s. I was like in year 8 or something, maybe like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And we used to watch it. We used to watch it all the time, and me and my entire family would sit and watch it, and we knew it was shit, right? Because if you get an advert saying, "Oh, next week on Living TV, the new series of Most Haunted," and it's like, well, if they'd caught footage of Life After Death, I'd fucking know about it. I'd be on CNN. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
So you went into it knowing you weren't getting anything proper.
Yeah.
But he used to do is he used to go into possessions, and I'd love you guys to just, if you've never heard them, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, okay, let's pick a random one. How about let's do Mary Loves Dick.
Because basically, I know the name Robert walks round, and I know Mary does, but there's this peace and calm of spiritual activity there with. Right?
That's the chicken noise.
Where's it going? You alright? Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. That's it. That's things about him. Who are you?
Hang on.
Just for a moment, energy came in, and there's noise. A nice lady, but I feel as if she's got this great love for Dick. Covers him up.
Covers him up.
Covers him up. Are they related?
Fanny covers him. It's a good job she wasn't called Fanny.
He's fully taking the piss. I can't believe it. I was like, he must be fully taking the piss there. I don't know how any of the others kept a straight face.
They don't. If you carry on the clip, right, that was on Most Haunted Live, and they cut back to the studio, but the camera keeps rolling, and they all heard, and Derek was like, well, this is how it is in the levels, on the levels of the spirit in the atmosphere. Just,
my God.
yeah. So he used to do these possessions, and realistically, I used to think he didn't do them that often, but having watched them all back many times, he does them every fucking episode.
Yeah.
Every single episode.
It's like the countdown. It's like the Incredible Hulk turning into the Incredible Hulk. You're just waiting for that moment.
Yeah. It's and he used to say things as well. He used to shout at the ghost. He used to say, "You dirtball." That's what he calls someone a dirtball, and he goes, "They had every reason to fucking hang you, you fucking bastard." And then he starts describing how he wants to rape the female crew members. And hang on, this is okay. Now this is where it's not funny, because when you consider, when you consider what's really happening. That is a man just saying creepy things to women. Maybe cut this bit down a bit.
Yeah.
But it's because
I'll chop it down. It's fine. It's just
it's having a think.
Can I open a beer?
If you want.
I've got a few. I didn't
You
know.
got beers?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was in a beer or not, so I just brought them in the off.
I wanted to bring my whiskey vial, but I didn't think that you guys would be alright with me just midday drinking.
Well, you can have one.
Sans dinner. Can I have one? I'd love one.
I've brought more, but after these literally my last 2 beers.
Should we... You want to pause at something?
Can do. So we're going to listen to this clip now, which is all... Yeah. This is interesting.
Son of a gun, easier.
It's in the other one where he calls him a dirtball. You dirtball!
Son of a gun.
Can you feel it?
Oh God, it's so much colder in here.
Okay. I can't hear you.
This is in the House of Detention in London.
He's telling us to go. He's telling us to go.
No, we're not going.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Why do these two talk like they're talking to a naughty child?
Yeah, he's telling us to go.
It's constant.
Go because...
Yeah. Permeating everything.
Naughty ghost. Very naughty ghost. Don't say this to me, you naughty ghost.
That's his word. He can't. He can't.
What's he saying? So I can be better.
She's going to give to you.
To me? Go on, tell me. What?
Give her a present of a duck.
He's coming to.
Come on, just say it. It's alright. Just say it.
I honestly think that this genuinely isn't on.
No.
Well, I mean, obviously it's not on, but
You can, it's alright.
considering that none of this is real, why would he make this up?
Does it put me on my guard then?
Just to, like, upset people?
Yeah, this is the Marilyn Manson school of thought, isn't it?
Derek described to us exactly what this entity wanted to do to me and the rest of the female members of the crew. So graphic were his descriptions, we couldn't broadcast them.
I have a question about that entire thing, right?
Yes.
So, we're operating under the theory that he's doing all this for an act and he's making it up, and that the crew are fully complicit in it and they understand it as well. So, from that clip, he said, "Oh," and she's gone on just then and said, "Oh, we can't broadcast what it was the ghost said." Does that mean that Derek ACORAH
Was spouting off.
for footage that they didn't use?
Yeah.
Was getting in their face and going, "What he's going to do? He's going to pull your trousers down."
Yeah.
Doing that?
Yeah.
If
Well, apparently.
if I did that in my workplace environment, I'd be bloody arrested. Like,
I
joke
don't-
or no joke.
I think that it's sort of like Jippo rules, though, isn't it? It's like Carney rules, you know, like with mediums and stuff. It's like, there's no rules.
There's no rules here.
I mean, think about it. I mean, he spent his life just fucking lying to people's faces for money, so I don't think he's probably
There's a word for the job that he does. I'm trying to think. Parasite.
charlatan.
That's why, like, we've talked before about how we know people who go to psychics and things like that, and we do.
I don't blame the people who believe in it.
No, I just don't want. If
I think they
you
just
want
want to
believe
believe.
in it, but I think the people who do it are either, on the plus side, they're either delusional,
Yeah.
or at the worst case, they're absolute scumbags, claiming that they're psychic.
Well, Darren Brown, obviously, like Darren Brown's not. He's like an illusionist, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he says it's. He says it's.
Yeah, he does. He says it's all nonsense.
Tricks and nonsense.
I mean, I once saw an interview with him on YouTube where he was talking about it, and he said that there are like psychic medium colleges where they basically teach cold reading and all the other methods that they use. And he says that there's people there who are like genuinely believe it, think that they have some kind of higher intuition or whatever. But
It's like Colin Fry's one that I know from. He's always on TV when I'm at the gym for some reason. I always see him in subtitles. He's got.
Fry dead.
Oh, he's still. Maybe he's come back from. He's being he's possessed another body, and they always get him on GMTV, and he is
GMTV is that still going on?
sorry, this morning. They always get him on that to talk about it, and he's soft
Can you
spoken,
hum the tune?
lying.
Hum the tune
What, for this
GMTV?
morning? GMTV? Is it? No, it's this morning. Is the one I was about to do. What's the GMTV one? Oh, I was good. I thought it was this morning one. I thought it was this morning.
Dun 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 dun.
What?
That was
What was that bit?
That was the big breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Do live and kicking. I don't even remember live and kicking. I mean, I do vaguely.
All I remember is tell the aardvark it's a rap.
Yeah, Otis.
Yeah.
Quality.
I thought I could remember the song that they sang to teasing him.
I can't remember.
No,
Yeah, I think you're close there.
Yeah.
but Colin Fry is the vilest of parasites if you ever
Really?
watch him on TV, because he literally just makes people cry. He gets grieving relatives on and makes them cry,
It's not
and that's his entire show for an hour.
And he knows what he's
Living
doing as
TV.
well.
Exactly, and
Sickening.
you can see it on his face. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like you can genuinely see it on his face. He knows what he's doing, and he's just awful.
Yeah.
Let's see how psychic he is.
When I can give him the
When I
face.
set 1,000 dogs on him.
Which of these dogs will bite you?
And also,
Snapping at his
another
legs.
point, we know these people aren't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychics, mediums, things. We know they aren't, because if they're real, then that means that they can commune with the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means that there is an afterlife, which means there is a god, which means
Derek
that the
ACORAH.
Bible is right, which means that if Derek ACORAH is talking to the dead, then he's a witch.
No.
And according to the Bible, he should be burned at the stake.
Derek ACORAH has said many times that he's a Christian and he believes both simultaneously, even though they absolutely conflict with each other. He says that like you could talk to ghosts, right?
Yeah.
You could talk to spirits of people who have like whatever unfinished business because he watched Casper or something in '93.
What is going on with Casper?
What about Casper?
What is going on with Casper?
Well, Derek ACORAH never met him.
How did Casper die?
He froze to death. He got hypothermia.
Really?
Yeah, he went sledding.
Yeah, he went sledding. His dad died because of it.
And his dad
Is that in
died
the
trying to
film?
save.
Papa,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, do you mean the canon?
Yeah, I'm intrigued to...
Talking about the canon of Casper.
I'm intrigued.
Do you know?
two things I don't know in pop culture: the canon of Casper and the Snorks.
Well,
I don't know anything about them.
We don't include Casper and Little Red Riding Hood.
The Snorks is literally just the Smurfs under the sea.
That explains why they're blue.
Because they're all choking to death.
And then there'd be ghosts. Speaking of which,
back to ghosts.
Yes. So Derek ACORAH is a nightmare of a human being. We have discovered this. He is a guy who will lie on screen, possibly with the rest of the crew helping him build his lies, and then we'll use that to say horrendous things. I think we should play another clip.
Okay.
Proof of what we've just been saying, that Derek ACORAH is a huge, huge asshole.
I just think he doesn't like the rest of the cast. And he just hides that.
Tell me who you are.
Bitch!
No, I'm not a bitch. Tell me.
Bitch!
No, I'm not. Tell me. I'm not a bitch. Tell me. And I'm not scared of you.
Bitch!
I'm not a bitch.
Bitch!
Sit down now.
Oh!
Wait. Please just put on so.
Okay.
This is him being possessed by a little boy.
You think it's the other way around?
Oh my god. It's beautiful.
Let's take his time again.
Describe why.
So this is another Derek ACORAH possession.
And if someone is jammed behind his feelings are so let everyone know. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. No. Come and help me.
At least that's going cry like he's Shakespeare.
Living is without you.
He's a hell of an actor, I'll tell you. My dad used to fucking love it, like he was watching a circus act. He'd be like, a little voice, he'd be like, it's taking the piss obviously out of him. Brilliant.
My god, that's incredible. I think every now and again I'm just going to find myself going, He sounded like a dog that's just come back from the vets and realised his genitals are missing.
Yeah.
I would go for a more traditional medium style if I was to do the career of medium. Like, I wouldn't do all this. I would cast my hands forward.
David Wells does that.
Spirits!
Some people near it. Some people can't get near it.
We're going to have to put a moratorium on that word being used, you know what I mean? Because it launches you into a rap every time. But it's another
just don't get near it.
A really fun thing to do if you're a medium would be to have like a celebrity medium thing,
right?
And then
Vic Reeves was on it.
Well, so I'll get someone like. I'd get someone like.
Of course he.
I'd get someone like an old comedian, like David Jason or someone like that, and then I'd talk to his spirit.
What do you call that? He's dead.
No, I'd talk to David Jason's ghost while David Jason was still alive. Exactly. I go, and you're saying something from the spirit realm, Jason. I'm still here. I'm still opposite you.
You're saying Rodney is Wonka.
That's not my ghost, that's just a character. David, that's what I'm getting from the other side.
Shut up, David. I'm getting David coming through.
David's going, there's another David over there. There's been a murder, and they need Inspector Frost. Do you know what Inspector Frost?
Do you know what Count? Sounds like fuckula. Could be duck. Is it duckula?
Oh no, I'm getting a mouse. I think it's in danger.
If you look at the rules of chaos magic, then the characters that David Jason inhabited will exist out there in the ether. So you should be able to channel the spirits.
What you're saying is, Derek ACORAH needs to start talking to the avatars of people's characters.
Yes, I want to see
Grant Morrison.
I want to see him channeling Judge Dredd.
David Jason channeling.
I'm getting something through. 5 years in the ISO Creek.
What?
And he's just pointing to his finger. Hot shot.
What you're saying is you want Derek ACORAH to channel David Jason playing
as Delboy.
Why not? To make Delboy real, do we all have to get some hooky gear and come on it? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Just like, okay, have you got a grandfather clock?
He's stood one hand wanking, waving a candle with that hand with an antique grandfather clock.
Just going, Del, come alive!
No income tax, no VAT.
We have to be proper intoned though.
No guarantee!
No
No
income tax.
tax, no guarantee.
Are we going to try and make Del Boy corporeal?
Imagine if you read The Rising of Albert. Do it on Easter Sunday, he's arisen. And he's like,
During the war!
the shot on Albert Hospital.
You've only gone and sunk a fucking gravy boat.
I didn't expect the one about Derek ACORAH to be the episode that gets me into trouble. I think we've got that.
No, he's just sunk every battleship, as he says, every battleship and freighter you've ever sailed on, but now you've knackered a gravy boat. Brilliant. Because he puts Maxwell House in the gravy. And they're just pouring coffee. And he goes, I don't want any, son, because he knows it's coffee. And he goes, oh yes, you will have some. And he picks it up and he's going, you love gravy, don't you? We might need to cut all of that.
It's no Faulty Towers.
No, I think Faulty Towers is better, to be fair.
Yeah. A little bit now on the downfall of Derek ACORAH, don't you?
Yeah. Or should we go into that?
I want to hear the downfall. I want to hear this man pulled down.
Okay, well, this is really the main point of the episode. Like I was saying, it was supposed to be about Most Haunted, but when you start digging into it, every point of contention and every controversy, it's all to do with Derek ACORAH. Yeah. Okay, so in the first season, like I've said, the what the fuck are they called? Psychoanalysts?
Yeah,
Parapsychologist.
Parapsychologist.
Okay, so the parapsychologist was Jason Carl, who was a fucking actor. And then season 2 to 6, it was a guy called Phil Wyman, who was perfectly good. He was really good at it. At the end of every episode, they have a sort of skeptic doctor who will look over the footage and basically tell you why it's not a ghost.
Right.
And just ruin the show for you in like the last 3 minutes. Just go, well, that's not a ghost, is it? That's a draft. It's just like all this build up, and it's almost like we've got your money now. You've spent your time watching the show. Now fuck off. And it just gets to the end. He goes, "It's a fucking draft." So basically, there's a doctor at the end of each show, and then they started bringing in this guy who's called Kieran O'Keefe, who is like a genuine skeptic, and he's a real doctor. He's a psychologist and specialising in parapsychology.
Right.
And he is an actual like professor. He's actually like, well respected and doesn't believe it all, right? But as it started to go on, you know, he started in season 6, he started coming out of the edit suite, and he started coming with them on locations and stuff. And he's like the proper skeptic, right? But even him, like, as time went on, he started believing in it all. Like, as things went on.
in a cult, man.
No, but this is true, because in season 3, there was a man called Fred Barr, who owned, I think it was Brannigan's nightclub in Manchester, I think. And,
right.
and his own house, he owned like a mansion, I guess. He was incredibly wealthy. So, they investigated his mansion and this nightclub that he owned, right?
Yeah.
And he's just a guy, he's proprietor of this nightclub. And then season 10 comes back on in 2014, and all of a sudden, he's a fucking demonologist. He comes on and it's like, here's Fred Butt, the demonologist. And he's like, it's some guy. It's some fella who believes in it a bit. And it's almost like this insanity of like, if you get close to these people, you become a zealot. He showed up in
the most haunted zealots.
He showed up in season 14 in like a black suit with like a pentagram round his neck, and he was like really serious, like, oh, don't worry, my son. The mark of Samael should not touch your feet. And you're like, Fred, you're a normal man. And you got involved with this. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Back to Kieran O'Keefe, right? As I say, he started sort of believing in it a bit, and he started to suspect that maybe Mole was like who was planting all the stuff and who was trying to kick Derek out. And essentially, it came out that it was Kieran. Right. And what he did was, before an investigation at Derby Jail, which is episode 1, season 6, if anyone wants to watch that, it's all on YouTube. He, if anyone wants. Anyway, so
Join me, I'm so lonely.
Please, it's only me in the comments section. So at Derby Jail, he planted, before the investigation, this name, which was Creed Kafer, which would later turn out to be an anagram of Derek Faker. And not only did he commune with this fake individual, he was actually possessed by him.
Wow.
Shall we take a listen?
I think so. Which one is it?
Creed Kafer. It's out in the middle.
Ah.
Now, this person is completely made up, for sure.
I think it's just updated a load of stuff, so it's gonna.
Aye. You can chop bits out there.
Yeah, it's easy enough to edit.
I like Audacity. That's what I use. I use Audacity to record these.
Yeah. Audacity is just a great bit of software, and it's free.
It's so very free.
Pause it whilst.
Yeah, well, it thinks, can I have a peek?
Get comfy down here. Oh, yes.
So this is the Creed Caver recording.
He's back down here. He's stopped.
Is this the South African?
Yes.
That's Kieran. He's like, is it South African?
No, I just feel it.
Because he's fucking bollocks.
There's something somewhere along here. Is it like he's hunting us?
Hunting us like a
He's in
lion
the area.
in South Africa.
And he really doesn't want any of us to leave this area. He wants to hurt, and he's intending, he said to Sam, he will hurt. Okay. Oh.
Is he telling you something, Derek? Is he giving you a name?
Pull it out of him.
Creed! Creed!
Derek?
3 weeks later, caught again with another anagram that was planted to him of Rick Eagles, which is an anagram of Derek Lies. He's like, Rick Eagles, he's here! Creed! He always sounds like he's coming.
I'm using that
I think
name.
the power just intoxicates him, I guess. I don't know.
I'm using that name. It was rammed to the bottom.
Yeah, it is.
That's the most haunted pub in.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
I've been in there. It is very, very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very ramshackle, and the shambles are like sort of.
Yeah.
They obviously have been built like 700 years ago and never touched.
I went to the House of Trembling Madness instead and have.
Oh, the House Trembling Madness is
That's very
awesome.
cool as well.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I
Some
haven't been
nice-
to York in ages.
Some nice beers on tap in House of Trembling Madness. Just that's my recommendation. Go there and get some Gamma Ray on draft.
In fact, no, I tell a lie. It's been like 3 or 4 years since I was last in York, but before that, I was there like 5. Going for job interviews and stuff. There, it was weird.
I didn't. The day when we were in York, right? Our hotel looked right up onto the city walls. You could see, and I follow this group of Viking reenactors on Instagram.
Yeah,
and they posted
Right.
that they were outside the walls, and I went and looked out the window, and I could see them. And I was like, "Oh shit, that's weird." All these Vikings dotting around outside the city walls. I was like, "That's fucking crazy."
that's all. But to continue this tale, then.
Yes.
Derek.
So he got caught up twice with 2 fakes.
Yeah. And at that point, they pretty much let that season 6, they let that go basically, just like kept him on to the end. I guess he had a contract or something.
Yeah.
But he was removed from season 7 onwards and replaced by a guy called David Wells, who's, as you say, he's much more down to earth. He never gets possessed or anything.
Yeah.
He just sort of. It's a lot less silly when David Wells is doing it, to be honest with you. But ACORAH, I mean, I love him. I genuinely love to meet him. I genuinely would love to meet him, and I wouldn't have anything bad to say to him. I'd be like, "You are a hell of a performer."
Didn't you get blocked on Twitter by him?
Well, we were
There's a claim to fame.
we were in the Golden Fleece in York, and as you go in, there's loads of most haunted stuff, and there's loads of photographs of them all. So I started taking pictures of it. I was hammered, and I started like tweeting them to him, going, "Creed Cafer, Creed Cafer," and then it was like, "You are blocked by Derek." And I was like, "All right then."
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, well, neither did he, because let's have a look at some of the atrocities he's performed since leaving Most Haunted. To get specific, 14th of May 2012.
Yep.
Derek earns the ire of the entire United Kingdom by stating that Madeleine McCann has been dead for some time and was soon to be reincarnated.
She's the next Dalai Lama.
Oh, you were going to talk about...
Do not get me started.
He can't reincarnate. He can not reincarnate, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Turn it off.
That's his
You can
choice.
take it off. It's not necessary.
His choice is to tell everyone he's not reincarnating. That way, the Chinese government can't use him. It's freaking incredible.
Because it's a 2-stage process. The Dalai Lama reincarnates, but there's another child,
The Palanch Lama.
that says where the next Dalai Lama is going to be reincarnated. And the
Can you not choose? Can you not choose where he comes back?
No, this guy, the guy. But the guy that the Dalai Lama originally chose to be this other one.
Yeah.
He's been missing since.
Well, they They chose the Dalai Lama picks the Panche Lama, and the Panche Lama finds the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
It works back and forth. So the lost Panche Lama died, and he found the next one, who was a 6-year-old boy, who the Chinese government then disappeared.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Whenever anyone asks, apparently this kid is alive and well, he just doesn't want to be disturbed with this nonsense. The Chinese government then picked their own Panche Lama. So when the Dalai Lama dies, and he is 81 now, and he dies, they have the Panche Lama to find the Dalai Lama.
So they will have a...
So they can just basically rewrite the canon of Casper?
Yes, pretty much.
How did the Dalai Lama die? I'll tell you.
Syphilis.
Click. In a gulag.
Which is a massive shame, I think, because I actually really like the Dalai Lama. He is a beautiful human being.
Does seem like a sound guy.
But he's going to not reincarnate, because he knows this, so he's going to say he's not going to reincarnate, but that will leave those very devout Buddhists with no.
So is that the end? Is that the end of the canon then? Is he literally drawing an end to his religion? Basically,
if following their law, that would be it. That would be because if he's not going to because it's meant to be one continuous life.
It is, yeah.
So if he says he's not going to reincarnate, then there's no more Dalai Lamas. Then it's a big middle finger to the Chinese.
Yeah,
but then he has no more religion.
It's still got Buddhism. They just won't have a head of it. They won't have a.
Buddhism itself will continue. It'll just be that the lion of the Lama is dead.
Yeah.
Couldn't they keep him alive in some kind of golden throne? There's thousands of Buddhists daily.
Of the new world order.
Sacrifice daily to his glory.
I wouldn't put that past the Chinese.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, I was going to say, we've got guys. You want 1,000 guys? I can get you 1,000 guys.
1,000 guys a day.
No bother.
What was that one? Sorry, the first one.
That he said that Madeleine McCann had been dead for some time.
Much as I have done for some time.
But not on television.
But not on television.
Don't tell.
I'm not saying she's going to be reincarnated.
We all know.
He was heavily smeared.
Yeah. Whatever gets you going, I suppose. But let's face it, we all know her parents killed her.
Alright, okay, there we've got it. Show over. The most contentious thing that will be said. Fucking hell.
I wrote in dirt on my mum's, the back of my mum's car, Madeleine McCann inside.
What's the next thing?
To get even more specific, 8th of November 2009, Derek takes part in Michael Jackson The Live Seance, which has been described by the Guardian newspaper as the worst hour of television ever produced. I agree, as not once did he possess Jacko's chimp, or blurt out hee Shamona. He was just like, it's alright, my son. He was talking to these diehard lovers of Michael Jackson, and they're all there with the rhinestone gloves and the hats, and he's like, don't be worried. Everything will be fine. Just be yourself. And he did that for an hour.
Fucking hell. I've got a theory about Michael Jackson. Allow me to describe someone to you, and let's see who this reminds you of.
Mm-hmm.
Hat. Mm-hmm. One glove. Mm-hmm. Looks special. Possible, let's say alleged, paedophilic behaviour.
Right.
Died horrendously.
Right.
Toward the end of his life, did not look like a human being anymore. That's Freddy Krueger.
It is, yeah.
Michael Jackson is actually Freddy Krueger. Woohoo! I'm in your dreams.
I can imagine him saying, this is God.
Why can he channel Michael Jackson? Right, why can he channel Michael Jackson?
Fucking anyone he likes, because he's lying.
So he can channel anyone he wants. If he channels anyone he likes, and he believes it, and we all believe it, we all think he can do this, because he's a magic spirit man, and what he should do is channel Adolf Hitler and Jimmy Savile, we can finally put them on trial.
Yeah.
We can finally...
Can you imagine him in the dock?
Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Why not do it?
Well, I could do what I wanted.
It is my struggle.
That your Hitler impression's terrible.
Yeah.
Like Groucho Marx.
Yeah. Got himself in some... This is possibly the most...
9. This is another fine mess I've got myself into.
This is possibly the most hot water he ever got himself into. We've got a clip of it.
He poured scalding water over himself.
He was on a Northern Irish talk show, and
he said God wasn't real.
No, it's the Louis Saville one, and basically he said that people choose when they're incarnating themselves,
right,
in life. That
after everything we've gone through so far,
he says it. Yeah. I don't say it.
This is possibly the thing that I'm gonna. Oh, okay.
Okay.
This offends me as well, to be honest.
I haven't heard this.
You've not?
No, I'm looking forward to this.
Well, he really got in a lot of trouble for this.
Right.
I'm trying to interject though, because I was reading Derek ACORAH's website today, and you said that people who suffer abuses or murders bring it on themselves. So I wonder, the guy who was on just a moment ago with Parkinson's, did he choose Parkinson's before he was born then, Derek? That's what you kind of say on your website.
Really? Yes. This is a deep debate, I suppose. But I'm saying
Is it yes or a no, though?
Well, yes, I do believe it. Yes, because we have many lives.
Well, I thought...
Dear Christ.
To be honest, though,
Louis Salva tells him, he's like, well, I find that incredibly offensive, and what the fuck are you talking
So
about?
first, if I was going to reincarnate myself, I'd choose a debilitating illness to come back with. Of course I fucking wouldn't. What type of lunacy is he fucking talking? You've got a choice of reincarnating. I know. I'll come back as a disabled girl.
I've just stopped finding him funny. That is foul.
That is legitimately on his list of offences that I have here.
Yeah.
That is his gravest offence. That he genuinely believes that.
That is disgusting.
That is bad. Then again, I think that telling all of his female co-workers that a ghost wants to rape them is pretty bad.
It is, but we kind of... I think we're all in the idea that it was cut and he didn't actually say that.
He might have.
Well, he might have.
I think
we don't know
he's a bad man. He's clearly a bad man.
I think he's an idiot. He's just a monstrous idiot who probably at this point believes his own hype.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I get the impression that the entire way through the series, he kind of does this thing where I think he's very, very good at manipulating people into not calling him on stuff, because he's simultaneously, you've heard like his voice, he's very like softly spoken and stuff, but there is a very definite like threat and menace. Yeah. He's kind of an intimidating character.
He's not a small man. He's definitely not a small man.
It's not even that. It's like it's his body language in opposed to his voice. Yeah. His voice is like really calming and gentle, but some of the things I'll give you an example right now. This is completely, I have no proof of this. Right. Sorry. But this is, in Carlisle, this place called the Sand Centre, where it's basically like a leisure centre, but sometimes they put like shows on and stuff. Yeah. And Derek ACORAH came, and when I used to work at the shop, one of the women that I used to work with, she said that she went to see Derek ACORAH, and she was in the very first row, right? Mm-hmm. And someone behind them in the second row stuck their hand up and was like, "Oh, I think you're talking to my Jerry or something." Yeah. Right. So Sue starts laughing, and she couldn't stop laughing, and like she just lost her shit and started like laughing because it was just ridiculous. Yeah. And then Derek ACORAH was like sort of not looking at her, looking at the person behind, and go, "Don't worry, just ignore the people who are laughing at you." Do you see what I mean? Like he puts you down, he puts you in your place without saying it to you. Yeah.
Ignore the people who are laughing at you.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Also he makes it cringy.
Makes it worse for the person because he just bounces back off. That's awful.
Well, the Parkinson's one.
Everything so far, actually. The guy, when you start seeing him as being a bit of a showman and a showboater, that's fine. You can laugh it off. Mm. But when you start saying horrendous things like that and start pulling people down, that's disgusting.
You do have to separate the man from the artist. The art from the artist.
I tried that. You said that was perfect man.
No, we burned those CDs. Yeah. No, never listened to
them out the window. I think we're coming up to time now. So we're going to have to start closing things down. But, wow. Yeah. We went through some very dark places, and then it got worse.
We've done ghosts, and we've done demons, and we intend to do Skinwalker Ranch and weird stuff. Yeah. And this is the grimmest it's been.
Well, I think
he's evil.
Yeah. I think this is a human being who is an awful human being, rather than some of the weird stories that we're pulling. Yeah. So the next episode should be Skinwalker Ranch. Are you two enjoying your research on Skinwalker Ranch?
It's insane.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I've watched like documentaries. I wasted 3 hours of my life watching a documentary, and it was an old Native American man sat on a couch with a pipe.
I've seen that.
And he was just going, "Oh, I saw some lights a couple of days ago," and he's like, "Oh, really? Tell me about the demons." And he's like, "Oh, there's no demons." Yeah. It's shit.
I've got a list of all the different entities and how they appear.
Oh, fantastic.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because it's like everything. Yeah. It's like there's aliens, there's fucking vampires, there's werewolves. It's like whatever you want, you get it here.
Pretty much it's an all you can eat buffet.
What is it they call it? Dead Man's Curb.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Curb.
One of the things, what we've done is we've set up a group for the Creaks. So if you go to facebook.com/groups/the Creaks, you will find us. And on there, we are doing a little bit. It's early days. But one of the things I've started doing is 2 or 3 times a month, probably, I'll put up a reading of an encounter. At the moment, my favourite encounter of all time, the cowman of Capalis Beach is open. I freaking love that story so much.
I've heard that one.
Oh, you should listen to it. You should listen to it. It's good. At some point I want to do Gulf Stream sightings because they're fantastic. But yeah, there's a couple out of... What we'll probably do is I'll do a couple of encounter stories that tie into the episodes we're doing. Yeah. So that should be quite interesting. So I'll do a couple of them for the Skinwalkers. I'm not going to do one for Derek ACORAH.
It doesn't deserve it.
Cunt. So, with that being said, we're going to draw this to a close. I have been Gruffy. You can find me at www.rivetedsounds.co.uk, where audiobooks are for sale. And you can also find me on YouTube at Grufflock. James.
I am James, I am around, but you can also find me on Tumblr, Delicious Sydney, which I'm starting up again, doing some stories on there and things like that, and you'll see some comics going up there as me and my brother start to work on some stuff again, so yeah, keep an eye on that.
Excellent! Chris?
I got nothing. I have no social media presence of any kind. I just play PlayStation 4 until I fall asleep.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Yes.
So, thank you very much, guys, for listening, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.